The first season of Blood of My Blood ended on such a breathtaking note that it left all of us desperate for answers. Every storyline closed with a cliffhanger, every couple hanging between love and danger. And now, with Season 2 on the horizon, the question everyone is asking is, what happens next? What challenges await Brian and Ellen in the chaos of the Jacobite Rising? Did Henry and Julia truly make it back to Claire through the stones, or did fate separate them once more? Let's dive deep into what we might see in the first episode of Season 2 and how the story could unfold from there. Let's start with Brian and Ellen, two souls who finally found each other again, only to have war waiting outside their door. At the end of Season 1, we saw the 1715 Jacobite Rising begin to take shape, a moment that's been teased since the very first episode. When Brian declared that he would join the uprising without hesitation, it was both heroic and heartbreaking. He's finally with the woman he loves, yet he's choosing duty over peace. Ellen, as we know, vowed to stand by his side no matter what. But history has a cruel way of separating lovers. If you've watched Outlander, you remember how war tore Claire and Jamie apart for years. Years filled with longing, pain, and sacrifice. To see Brian and Ellen possibly endure the same fate so soon after their reunion would be devastating. And just when their love seems safe, there's a chance Ellen might be expecting a child. Imagine that. Ellen pregnant while living as a fugitive, while Brian rides to battle. If that baby turns out to be Jamie, the story could take a powerful and emotional turn that no one saw coming. So who could stand beside Ellen and Brian in this chaos? Of course, Murtaugh. Loyal, brave, and unshakable, he's the one who could protect Ellen when Brian cannot. We already know Murtaugh will join the Jacobite cause, but his devotion to Ellen runs deeper than politics. And there's more. This season, Murtaugh may cross paths more often with Jocasta. Could this hint at a deeper bond between them? Possibly. And if Murtaugh acts as the bridge between Dougal, Colum, and Ellen, he might just be the reason the family finds forgiveness amidst the storm of rebellion. Now, let's turn to the unexpected couple, Dougal and Maura. Who could have predicted their marriage? Yet their chemistry feels surprisingly genuine. Their bond could mark a new beginning for the Mackenzies, especially now that Dougal will lead in times of war and peace. With the Jacobite uprising approaching, the stage is his. Colum, whose strict control once fractured the family, may finally have to step aside. Perhaps this season will show the brothers finding common ground, united not by pride, but by survival. But the peace won't last. Malcolm's uncle, Lord Grant, still burns for revenge. After Malcolm's death, his uncle's fury could ignite another conflict altogether. If he becomes the Lord of the Grants, his first move might be to destroy Brian and Dougal's alliance. That could push old enemies into unexpected partnerships. Imagine Brian and Dougal, former rivals, standing shoulder to shoulder to defend their families. Could they truly forgive Ellen and fight as one? The question alone keeps us guessing. Then there's Henry and Julia, the couple who risked everything for love. Their story ended on the edge of magic, standing before the stones that promised time travel and danger in equal measure. But did they make it through? Or did the stones reject them? Season 2 might begin right where we left off, with the answer to that haunting question. In an earlier theory, it was suggested that Henry or even his son William could end up in Claire's timeline. But what if they never made it through the stones at all? Remember, time travel requires gemstones, and Henry and Julia had none. Without them, their attempt could fail, leaving them trapped and vulnerable. If Archbug finds them before they escape, things could take a dark turn. He might deliver Julia and William to Simon Fraser, as promised. But this time, Simon won't be merciful. Now that he knows Julia and Henry share the same last name, he could realize William isn't his child. That discovery could destroy whatever compassion he had left. Julia might once again find herself imprisoned, but under far harsher conditions than before. And what about Henry? With Malcolm gone and Archbug's hatred growing, his life could spiral into tragedy. Perhaps he'll be forced to serve under Lord Grant, or live as a fugitive soldier. The possibility of Brian stepping in to repay his old debt, rescuing Henry and Julia, feels real, but uncertain. Still, the faint sound Henry heard before, the same buzzing that once led them through time, can't be ignored. Maybe they did travel again, maybe to different times. Maybe apart, it's clear, this season won't begin with happiness. It'll test every bond and every belief. The lines between love, loyalty, and destiny will blur more than ever before. Now, the biggest question: when will we actually get to see it? Unfortunately, there's still no confirmed release date. But here's what we do know. On October 11th, Hermione Corfield, who plays Julia, revealed that filming for episode 7 of season 2 had wrapped. That means production is nearing its end and post-production comes next. Based on that timeline, Blood of My Blood could return by late 2026 or early 2027. Until then, we can only dream about what's next. Will Brian and Ellen survive the rebellion? Will their child truly be Jamie? Can Henry and Julia escape their fate, or time itself? Let's keep the theories coming. What are your predictions for season 2? And which storyline do you think will break our hearts first? Let's talk in the comments.